Fresh from victory, Paddy fires off an unfiltered post-fight breakdown. He laughs about wanting a KO.
I wanted to knock him out, to be honest. I wanted to knock him out because Gagey hadn't and Poirier hadn't. But I ended up putting a severe beating on him, lad. Like a dad beats a 7-year-old up, you know what I mean? Put the craziest beating on him ever.
I mean, I don't want to slag him off, but it's some like bad fight IQ.
No, that's what we said going into it, lad. Obviously, he's explosive, he's fast, but his fight IQ is not good.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
Because he was like going there, picking you right up off the floor, which gets a bit of a scream off the crowd, slamming you, and you were going,
yeah, and getting
straight back up. I'm like, you could have saved half the energy and been on top.
Oh.
You know what, it's weird because he's obviously like a really fit guy, but if you do a sprint for 5 minutes, no one's going to be fit, are they? That's what he does. He just goes out there, he throws from like here, swinging. Everything he does, he's picking up full blast. It's just, it's mad for someone who has that many fights. I'm just surprised.
For Paddy, it's a highlight win and a mic drop roast in one breath. But the next voice you'll hear takes things in a totally different direction. Arkansas wildman Bryce Mitchell jumps on the broadcast to congratulate his buddy and tosses in a headline-grabbing slogan.
Send him to Arkansas 2 or 3 years and forget about it.
I love that comment.
Congratulations, man. You can go back to your family fight now, and you can go again and prove that you are one of the best fighters in the bantamweight division.
I love you, bro. And from the river to the sea, Palestine is free, man. I love
Thank
you
so much.
Lightweight contender Arman Tsarukyan sat down to explain why the Caucasus is MMA's next factory of champions.
Number one, the MMA players who trains in Dagestan, like 50% of people trains MMA. And if you let them to fight in UFC, maybe like 8 of them is gonna be from Dagestan champions, because there's so much good fighters there and they train every day and a lot of people. But in Georgia it's just like a new, you know. And Mirab, he came from he became a good fighter in the US. Ilya, he became a good from Spain, but in Georgia it's still like a new sport. And I feel like Mirab or Ilya, after when they retired, they got to open good gyms there, because in Georgia very good, one of the best wrestlers, one of the best judo guys, good boxing, they like sports. So in the future from Georgia can be so much good fighter.
Future wave or hype? Time will tell. But first, let's honor a legend who just hung up the gloves. American top team head coach Mike Brown gives us the inside angle on Dustin Poirier's final ride.
No, it was the right time. I mean, it was, you know, in maybe in some ways, had he won, it might bother him more to want to keep fighting. You know, even though he was out, he was like, maybe I should keep going. You know, maybe that would be in his head, right? Like, I'm not sure, but maybe it was good for him that he had an exciting fight but didn't get the W. Maybe it was good for his psyche, for him to accept that it's time to move on, right? Because maybe had he, you know, knocked Max out or something, maybe he would have went, well, you know, maybe it would bother him that he's retiring too early or something like this. He's obviously, you know, one of the best lightweights of all time, and his resume is incredible and all that. But you know, it was time. It's good for him. He's made a great life for himself. You know, we thought there'd be no chance that he was even going to ever be in position to be jumping guillotine, and there he was. He had one more guillotine for the road.
We joked before the fight. I said, wouldn't it be the perfect ending if he got the guillotine? And we even said, like, yeah, but come on, that's not really the kind of fight. And then he does it in the second round. I about jumped out of my chair. I was like, oh my gosh, he's going for the guillotine in the final fight.
Oh my God, yeah, no, it was incredible. I mean, the place was going nuts. Actually, at the end of that round, it was so loud, nobody heard the bell. And actually, the round went like a few extra seconds. Like the clock was 0, things were still going. Nobody heard because the place was going crazy. And it went a couple extra seconds, but they ended up stopping the round. It was pretty.
Brown's verdict, a perfect curtain call for a future Hall of Famer. From one champ-level story to a man wearing the belt right now, middleweight king Dricus du Plessis just rewatched his own 10-day notice UFC debut on Fight Island.
Yeah, crazy. I mean, it's been 5 years. It's crazy how fast the time goes when you're doing the thing you love. I actually watched my debut fight yesterday. I was literally going through all my fights yesterday, watching that fight. You know, the way it looked on TV, I had 10 days notice to make that. I was the least prepared I've ever been for a fight. And the guy you see on TV that looks so composed, loving it, smiling, but inside I was terrified. And, you know, that fight literally started. My opponent had a great game plan of just pressuring me because he knew the pressure was on me as a debutant. So, you know, got the first round knockout. So I couldn't really ask for a better debut. But yeah, I mean, that fight was probably just as important as a title fight for me, because that was the fight where, am I ready for this? Are they going to put me in the losers pool? Are they even going to keep me on? And I made it count. So that call was special. That fight was special, and it was on Fight Island, and that was an historic sporting event. You know, when it was the only sport in the world that was still going.
Fast forward 5 years, he's grinding sled pushes while coaches scream one more time, and a blockbuster defense versus Khamzat looms. Speaking of comeback stories, Ben Askren is still recovering from a double lung transplant. He was surprised by the positive messages from Jorge Masvidal and Jake Paul.
This goes out to the one and only Ben Askren. What's up, my brothers? I know we were rivals in the ring. I just want to say, God bless you. And when I get back in America, if I could come shake your hand, brother, and just share a prayer with you, it'll be amazing, man. I know you're going to pull through this because you're a warrior, brother.
None of these people like Dana or anyone stepping in, so I feel like I have to do something, and that's really all it is.
Hey, I just want to take a moment to say a prayer for Ben Askren and praying for his family.
I was always kind of controversial, so there was always quite a few people who didn't want. Sorry, man, I got only positive messages. Like Jorge Masvidal and Jake Paul was messaging me. It's like, how's that come from?
That was what I was gonna say. Some of your enemies in the fight game.
The support was insanely broad, kind of across the board.
Chimaev has just wrapped another savage sparring session.
Feeling great. We're in LA. We're in training camp now, last camp for the fight. So coming for Chicago, kill everybody. See you guys there.
The message is crystal clear. Khamzat's final tune-up for UFC 319 is pure violence. Expect wrestling malls, cage pressure, and the trademark full-throttle pace when he storms the United Center in August. Please smash that like, hit subscribe, and drop your hottest take below. See you in the next video.